Neville Bradshaw's racing career is coming to a close. With only a handful of races left, the final chapter in Nev's story has begun. He continues to work double duty, racing for Lombard Express Suzuki in the MX2 class, as well as fighting for the two-stroke title. Both Louis Trickett and Matt Moffat have suffered season-ending injuries, meaning that the quest for the two-stroke crown has become a head-to-head battle. Mike Kras remains unbeaten. With only 2 races to go, the Dutchman commands the points lead ahead of the South African Man of Steel. Nev will have to stop at nothing if he wants to be crowned the two-stroke champion of Britain. He does all of this in the twilight of his storied and decorated career, simply for the love of two strokes.
It's been a while since I've ridden the two-stroke for like 3 or 4 weeks, so just did 1 lap to see everything was cool, and then put 1 fast lap in, and I went 3rd, did another slow lap, got another fast lap in, went 2nd, and then I think Mark Kras went quick on that lap as well, so I ended up 3rd, so that was good, you know, like good fun, like felt pretty good on the bike straight away again, so looking forward to 2 good models on it hopefully. The track's really cool, like there's lots of loam in the corners and stuff, and it's not really rough at the minute. Hopefully it gets a little bit rough and some more lines come. It's a little bit throttle happy at the minute, but you know, like Blackstall does normally get rough, but the conditions are sweet, you know, like if you could lay down loads of practice laps around there, you'd have a good day's riding. Ah, definitely, dude, like got a big smile on my face the whole time I'm out there on it, and again, just feel safe, you know, like you can hit everything pinned and have like full control of the bike, which is cool. It's just like you come in and you think like, wow, you know, like on a 15-year-old bike to be able to be doing that even, you know, it's quite cool, close to those guys that have been doing the whole world championship thing. Both of them have won motos at that, so to be same sort of second as them is really cool, I think. It's a bit of a shame, you know, like obviously it was getting, you know, having those other 2 guys, like we were all those 5 guys that could have a go at it, you know, and now unfortunately those other 2 guys are out, but I see there's a new guy on a Yamaha, I don't know who he is, so he'll be in the mix, and then James Dunn and Mark Kras have been riding good, you know, so for sure there'll be some good racing, but I guess it's between me and Mark for the championship now, so I'll have to beat him today if I want to try win the championship, but you know, there's no stress in it, you know, like it's just fun, but I'll give it a go. It's not something that I'm pushing hard, you know, like if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, you know, like before, like I was really focused on trying to win championships, but now it is for fun, and like to be fair, like I'm really surprised how close I am to those guys, you know, at the start of the year. We could have been anywhere in the game, you know, and to be that close to those guys in this whole bike is cool. So it's really just a fun thing, you know, like it's something that I really enjoy doing, and just make the most of the last couple of races of the season, really. I was second on the first lap, and then the kid from Italy on the Yamaha was quite good. He had a good pace going, and then I passed him, and then every time I go into the left-hand corner, I get a cramp in my right-hand leg. So I was just like really just trying to calm down, and I knew James was coming and put up a bit of a fight. And then when I let him go, like literally, dude, I did 2 laps behind him, and it stayed the same. So I knew I wasn't going to go past him, and then I just rode it through, knowing that I was going on to the 250F straight away. You know, so last 4 laps I just kind of jacked it in, and then but this next one I'm going to go all in. You know, the first time beating him is cool. Yeah, you know, like it's cool. You know, like I just think it's quite crazy. Like I almost pulled the whole shot on that old bike. Like I think that's really cool. That's the coolest thing about it, eh? Like racing these guys, and they all, you know, got fresh bikes and racing every weekend on them, and we just hustling, dude. We're just hustling and enjoying what we're doing and at the front of it. So really cool. Yeah, no, that was gnarly, eh? Like I went down the start straight and I so badly wanted a Holly. I was off the back of the bike, went into the first turn, and Kras was on my inside and Hollyoak was on the outside, and went both, like all 3 of us were going around the first turn, like speedway, like pinned, and then Hollyoak lost, we must have lost the front. Kras nailed him and I hit Kras wide open, and my bike completely wedged inside of his, and then we got up like dead last, like a long way back, and I hurt my wrist quite bad. I didn't know how it would be, so I did a lap just to see, and it was sore, but I didn't feel too bad. And then just put my head down, I was coming through, and had so many close moments coming through, like, you know, it was like quite gnarly.
Turkey on all, bring it home in second place, and a great fight from Neville Bradshaw to bring it home in third position. That's your podium finishers.
Coming through and had so many close moments coming through, like, you know, it was like quite gnarly. But then I could see the guys in front. I was making up a lot of time every lap and got into third, and then about 3 laps to go, my back brake went. I think I was just riding it too hard through the turns and stuff. The back brake went, and then unfortunately I had to settle for third. I caught up to the guy in second but didn't do him. The points are close now. I got into the last one. I think it's 2 or 3 points, I don't know, really close. So yeah, just quite crazy, you know, that through my whole career I've had a lot of races, you know, like I've had 3 Red Bull championships come down to the wire with a few points, and I've managed to win all of them, luckily, you know, but whether I win it or not, it doesn't really matter. I've had a real good time riding the 2 strokes, and it's quite cool. Like, a lot of people stay to watch that race, you know. You don't get to see it often, and like coming through is quite cool. Like, the whole crowd got behind me, and no, mega day, you know, like really tough with the heat and stuff. Like, my body wasn't good today, had to like dig pretty deep for it, but we got it done in the end. Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. I came in from the siding lap and I said to Neil, I was like, dude, I don't even know how I can do this. Like, there's something, I think I sweat so much that all my electrolytes go, and then I start cramping, and even on the warm-up lap I went into a corner and had to stand up quick because of the cramps, and I was like, dude, I don't even know. But I think luckily again, because I was coming through, it kind of takes your mind away from the pain and just get it done, you know. Second would have been nice, but last to third was still a good effort, I think. You know, just the feeling I get from riding the bike makes it worthwhile, you know. Like, yeah, it's hard to put in words. I've learned in my career, like, the only person you have to be happy is the people that are close to you, you know. Like, if Neil tells me something and he's pumped, I'm pumped. And if I'm pumped, I know whether I've had a good day or not, then I'm pumped, you know. Like, people forget you really quick, you know. The last 2 years, it's been a real big wake-up call with me. You know, those 5 or 6 years when I was doing really good, I had lots of friends at the racing and stuff, and then you have a couple of bad years and, like, you know, you become like a bit of a stranger, you know. So, but yeah, you know, as long as you keep your circle tight and the people around you are happy and you're happy yourself, that's the biggest thing, you know. Like, you got to come away satisfied in your own achievement, you know. That other people's opinion doesn't really affect me too much, to be fair. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened. I got a second and a third, and the guy in the Yamaha, he got a fourth and a second, so I should have beaten him by 2 points, but I think they got the points wrong in the first one. But I think maybe because my transponder came off in the first race, maybe they got the points wrong, but no, for sure I went 2-3 and he went 4-2, so I was second overall. We'll get it sorted out and make sure that's right. Obviously every point counts going into the last round with the championship being so close. To be fair, dude, like, I'm making the most of the next 6 weeks of riding motorbikes. I just feel like I'm progressing every week, you know, like I'm getting a little bit better, especially on the 4 strokes. You know, like the 2 stroke thing is a bit of fun for me, but where I want to do well is on the 250F, you know, like I want to have a good race. And the 450 as well, I'm starting to ride that really good, and you know, like if I can get a good result at a couple of MX Nationals before it's done, then, you know, that's a goal. But then obviously, like you saw today, you know, like racing those races and getting better at that and racing the level of riders there, it helps me out when I go there, you know. The training is just, you know, I'll go ride when I can, but obviously the training skills come first and stuff. And but I am, like, physically now trying to get 1 day a week riding, and you know, just so I can come and have good results on the weekend. So we're here at Foxhills for the last round of the British 2-stroke championship. I'm second in the championship, 7 points behind my Kras, and for the last round, I just thought we started the series as fun and we're going to end it as fun. You know, riding a CR500 is something I've always wanted to do, and I said about it to Neil Prince, his buddy James Paynton, he's into all the Evo bikes and stuff. He said, yeah, have a crack, you know. So I rode the bike once last week, and yeah, just excited to, you know, just have a bit of fun and do something different, you know. Like, that's what this year has been all about, is having fun and just doing stuff I want to do that I haven't been able to do in the past when I've been racing professionally. I rode the bike once last Saturday, just around a tire track near where I live, and it felt pretty cool, you know. Obviously it's a lot different and it takes a while to get used to the riding, but it's got a nice feel to it. And yeah, I think around Foxhills, like up the hills and stuff, and when you've actually got some space to let the big girl feed, I think it'll be nice to ride, you know. And then hopefully the starts, you know, the starts around here, this track gets very one line, so hopefully the starts will be good. And yeah, just fun, dude. It really doesn't matter, you know, like the championship. I'm not that stressed on the championship, so yeah, it's just fun. As far as I know, it's a 1989 Honda CR500. It's got some trick bits on it. It's got a set of modern forks on it, shower forks, titanium bolts, pro circuit pipe. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it really. The boys did an awesome job getting it ready for me, so thanks for that, James Paynton and Neil Prince. Yeah, we'll see how it goes, eh? 28 years old, yeah. It's crazy, eh? Like, just the bikes are getting older, dude. It's been awesome, you know, like obviously the two-stroke thing was really cool to start off with, you know, like doing well on that old bike was pretty cool, and then also riding for Neil's been cool, you know, like I've had a real good time riding for those boys. The 250F, I had some good races on that, some intense races. Then the 450 as well, I've been riding good, getting ready for the Motocross of Nations on that. I've also had a lot of fun doing that, you know, but the whole vibe's just been cool, you know, there's been no stress, you know, I've been busy with my training schools. Still been training hard on the physical side of it, you know, so that's kept the racing a little bit easier. Obviously, if you're physically fit, it makes it a bit easier. Just, yeah, it's been awesome, you know, I've ridden so many different bikes. Yeah, just it's been really cool, you know, something kind of like when you start racing, you know, it's exactly the same thing again. Don't have like ties to anyone really. Got a few people that still help me out all the time, you know, like the same people I go to every time. So no, really cool, I'm pumped on it. Especially the way the last couple of years went when I was kind of in the sport, out the sport, the surgery, you know, the whole deal like that. It's something that not a lot of people get to do, you know, like they end their careers racing for a team and that's it, you know, like not a lot of people go back to racing like that, so I'm lucky enough to be. And also with the two-stroke series coming up and coming to these rounds at the British Championship on good tracks and stuff, was just a really cool way to end it. So it's 7 points. Yeah, it's a long way, you know, like especially with James Dunn and Mark being teammates, I couldn't see that happening, you know. It'll be cool if it is, you know, like if it is a fair race and I manage to do it and those boys race normal, I think that'll be really cool, but it's not really something I thought about, you know, like I said to you boys at the start, we didn't even know like if I could get a top 10 on these old bikes, and to be second, you know, it's pretty cool. So yeah, no, it's no stress at all. I'm just going to try and get the best starts I can and try just enjoy my day and yeah, just, you know, give people something different again, you know, like the two-stroke thing was something different, and then seeing a 500 is something different, you know. It's yeah, just fun. Like I said before, like I don't race for results anymore. Like if I can get a good feeling out of today, I'll go home pumped, you know. Like winning a two-stroke championship's not going to change my life, dude. It's a bunch of people that just enjoy riding their work during the week. I think that's what the two-stroke championship is, you know. It's people shouldn't really get it twisted with something that's massive. It's something that's for fun, you know, and I hope it stays that way. Like I hope it doesn't get serious with a lot of big teams and stuff coming into it. I hope it stays as the average guy that enjoys riding two strokes on a weekend. Yeah, so qualifying went pretty good. The track was really wet, lots of mud and quite slippery, so it took me a long time to get used to the 500, and then I put a good lap in the last lap and managed to qualify second, so I was pretty stoked on that, you know, to put like a 28-year-old 500 in second in that class for some stacked riders was cool. We just had our first moto there, got a decent start. I was in third behind Greedy and James Dunn, and then Dunny got into lead. I was with those boys, and then almost passed Greedy for second, and then just didn't get by him and kind of lost my rhythm a little bit. And then Kras got me, but I stayed in the back of him the whole race, pushed him all the way to the finish. So towards the end of the motor, I started riding the bike a lot better, like knowing which gear to be in and where to go fast and where to carry momentum. So if I can go into the next motor, get a, you know, try a whole shot and ride the bike like I did at the end of that motor, I think it should be pretty cool. Yeah, no, that's pretty sick. He passed me and almost got him back there at a nice tight line, and we both scrubbed that jump. But yeah, it was cool, like close racing, you know. But on the big 500, it's hard to lay down hard. Obviously it's quite a big bike, so almost got him at the end of the straight, but I just don't want to stall it, you know. I was on the inside of him. I could have gone up the inside maybe, but there was a good chance of stalling it, and then as you boys have seen, it's a bit of a mission to start the big hill, so I just played it safe and was going to try getting back later, but stayed on the back of him so I know my speed's there, and yeah, try for go in the next motor. I want to try winning a motor on that bike, you know. That's my main goal. The championship coming in, it didn't matter to me, and going into the last motor, it's not going to matter. I just want to, you know, like imagine winning a moto on a 500 like that, you know. That would be pretty sick. So that's what my focus is on. I knew like it would take a while to get used to the bike. Like it's hard to just spend 40 minutes on a bike and then know how to ride it, you know. So now I've done one race like at race speed. Now yeah, hopefully the next one will be a bit easier. I'll know what I'm getting myself in for a bit more. Another quite cool race. I think I started second behind James Dunn, and then got an awesome drive going up one of the hills, and I briefly passed him, and then he came back by, and then Greedy was riding really good at the start and came almost past both of us actually, and I tagged on the back of him for quite a while, and we had like a three-way battle going for about 10 minutes, and I just felt like I was pushing a little bit too hard, you know. I was taking some risks coming down the hills, and then backed off a bit. Then I started coming back onto the back of Ash again, and then I had like a really big moment where the bike stepped out and I stalled it, and then I managed to bump it. Luckily it was on the hill. I bumped it, didn't go the first time, and eventually got to go in the third time, and then I thought I was going to have to ride this one out for third, you know, which is pretty sick, you know. Like as we said before, like on a 1989 CR500 around Foxhills against all those guys, you know, and there's some good riders in that class. So third overall for the day, which is stoked, you know. Like I'll take a podium on that bike any day, and I think the fans enjoyed it. That's the big thing, you know. Like they said I was going to do it, and I stuck to it, you know. Rode to the bike, got used to the bike through the day, and had a real good time. Massive thanks to JP and Neil for getting it sorted. I know it took up quite a bit of their time. No, I pumped second in the championship, maybe ended 5-6 points behind Mark, but you know, you go back to the first round at Canada Heights and we're thinking, would we be in the top 15, you know. So I had a lot of fun, which is the main thing, and just really enjoyed my riding again, you know. Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. Like it's awesome, you know. Like I think people can really relate to it, you know. Like you say about that guy that came earlier and was really pumped in it. Like he probably rode two strokes when he was growing up, and he can really relate to it. So in that aspect, and like I think it's the fullest class today. You know, that says something. I just really hope that it stays a fun class, you know. Like I hope it doesn't become like say like a big team going into that championship with some good riders to try win it, you know. I hope it stays like your average rider that is a good rider, goes and does his club races and wants to come and race two strokes on a weekend, you know, goes to work during the week. I hope it stays that sort of a deal. It's very different, eh? It's a very different vibe. Like I got no stress on where I come now. I think I was saying to Sam, looking back on my career, I wish I enjoyed it a bit more, you know. Like when I was getting good success, you're just chasing more and more. Now, like I'm very content in kind of what I do. Well done, bro.
Wouldn't hardly do that. I couldn't keep up.
Oh really, eh?
Honest, I tried, but...
Were you behind us? Because I thought you passed me, but it was Greedy.
No.
Oh, so yeah.
I just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, I stayed with him for like 10 minutes, and then that was me, dude. I couldn't.
I was just down, outside, just keep out of the rods.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
I went back to like 6 or 7, eh?
Oh, did you?
They passed me everywhere.
To be honest, it's the best class there is. I think it's more about the fun than the pressure, but racing is intense. Neville riding an older bike than me, so keeping that in mind. If he was on a new bike, he would be any faster than this. So yeah, it's on the limit, but it's not like it's the end of the world if you lose. So we're not riding to kill each other. We're just riding just fast as we can, as long as we can. So this is something special, and I don't think you see it many often that this is a class where many people ride it on the limit, and yeah, not to be worried about next year, just having fun. And I'm going home now with a smile on my face. I lost from a guy who's older than me on an old bike, but yeah, I gave him my all, and I couldn't do any more than I did today. So proud of myself, and I'll be back home 3 o'clock in the morning, and I go to work at 6 o'clock. So this is also something that I keep in mind, and this is also what makes it fun to do it, both work and both riding. So I'm happy.
Yeah, as Mark said, you know, like it's been awesome. You know, we've both been around a long time, respect each other, know the deal. You know, we've been through it, older guys, and it's just been like awesome racing every time. You know, just go home, you're pumped, you go to work on a Monday. That's the coolest thing about it. You know, like there's no stress. You ride in dirt bikes because it's cool. It's not like, you know, like I said the first one, like, geez, have I got, like at the end of the year, have I got a ride for next year, or was that good enough, or have I got enough prize money to make through the next week training? You know, so that's one aspect that's really cool, and yeah, hopefully it continues. You know, like again, like we say, we look at the numbers today, it's the fullest class there is. You know, that speaks for itself really. So hopefully they continue to grow it next year, and people enjoy it as much as we did, and hopefully you can get a championship as close as what you got this year with the battling between me, Mark and James. Ask him what he says. Go on. Go on.
We had a little bit of a debate. And I reckon if he had an up-to-date orange bike, he would be 3 or 4 seconds a lap quicker than he is on that.
No, when I said to him, I'm racing this bike at the British Two-Stroke, he's like, oh, you're wasting your time, you're going to do one round and you'll be on a KTM. And then I said, I bet you I'll be on the podium. He's like, no chance. We made a bet.
We did.
And then after the first one, I was like, yeah, you owe me something. Yeah, so also cool, like from like every single round I got on the podium, which is cool. I was the only rider to do that in that class. So yeah, just consistent, you know, like you guys know, my whole career has been pretty much about put him over there.
Yeah, we'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, podium at every round, only guy to do that.
I'll show you.
And doing 2 classes is special, you know, like I was getting podiums doing 4 motos in a day, you know, which is special as well. So all in all, cool, fun times, riding old bikes, Hondas, dig the Honda. So no, it was definitely worth doing.
First thing, I want to tell me what you think of Daddy today in A Road.
Daddy, well done, Daddy. He went over to Dumpstead and far away, then he went to the finish line.
Oh mate, that was brilliant. Have you done this before?
Yeah?
Yeah?
So was Daddy the winner, big one? Daddy the winner, big one?
Daddy was the winner, big one.
What else are you going to tell us then?
Tell us about Casey and Troy racing their motorbikes.
Troy was racing like through Batman's, through the ropes, and then to the finish line. Then other people was losing. Then on Casey, he jumped on a big one. Then he went to the finish line.
That's amazing, thank you. Do you want to have a look at yourself?
Yeah.
Come on then.